Hello, my name is Cam. I'm here to talk about some of the Gemini AI features and doing prompts. In particular, this one, we're going to be talking about human resources and creating more effective social media posts on LinkedIn, for example, and email campaigns. So before I get to kind of the meat of this, I want to talk a little about some foundational items and the approach I took for this particular one. So, the problem is, what's more effective mean? It's a pretty subjective term. So for this example, I'm going to focus on using data and learnings from an expert. His name is Mr. Delaquist. He was the creator of a product called Subject Line Pro and founder of Alchemy Works. It's an excellent product. You might consider using Subject Line Pro, or it's been acquired by another company, so I'd have to do it. But let's talk about the science behind that product. So the first 2 points to go over is that, number one, the shorter the subject line, the more opens you will get. Number two, you get more clicks or click-throughs with longer subjects. So that's a pretty important concept to understand, because if you use subjects with more meaning, you're conveying more information. And so, for example, something that says like oops or sale today might get more opens, but something that has more detail would get more click-throughs. So there's a lot of reasons why. People like me that are inbox zero people will open all emails. Other people's will only open it due to fear of missing out or the ambiguity in the email. But just because they open the email, it may not be relevant to them. It may not lead to a sale if you're trying to sell items. So the alternate is subjects that say things like 50% off sneakers, tees, and socks starting at 4 p.m. tonight. Now you're going to get a lower open rate, but it's only going to be opened by the people who are interested in those sale items tonight. And in short, basically what we've done is we've used the subject to pre-qualify the lead and therefore get a lower opening rate, but potentially a higher click-through rate or conversion rate. If I was looking at this from a job posting, you want to have a lot of information about the job in the subject. Is it remote? Is it on-prem? Is it hybrid? What's the title? Possibly even what's the pay range, etc. Some of the qualifications. The more you can cram into that subject line, the more likely you're to get leads that have pre-qualified themselves and not proceeded along. The important part here is both of those ideas have a purpose. For example, branding might want just more eyeballs, whereas sales and marketing or HR, they want more conversions. They want more people to actually take the next step and follow through. So only you can decide what your goal is. And that's a really important part. But with that said, what Della's simple rule is around subject lines is we respond to change as individuals. He actually found that there's a 14% lift rate in rates just by using a different subject. And that can be just a one-word change, adding an emoji, or referencing an offer. So something to think about. And this is especially important if you're mailing people over a period of time and where you need to mix up, opt in, out your different subject lines. He also has an interesting note, which is to avoid the dead spot of 40 to 60 characters. That's a dead spot because that's something a lot of people are told to aim for in subjects, but it's very antiquated from his, talkings. It's for older computers, older phones, etc. These days, basically you want to stand up. So go for shorter, go for longer. Shorter will get you those higher open rates, as I mentioned, and use relevant longer content for those click-through conversion rates. But when you're creating those subjects, the difference is it's really as simple as kind of creating a few subject lines and using the Help Me Write feature in Google Docs. So, for example, ask Gemini to do things like create me a subject for an email with a BOGO sale on sneakers, t-shirts, and dress shirts that is approximately 70 characters long with at least 2 emojis. So let's go ahead and show you just how simple that is. I'm going to go ahead and use a neat feature in Google Docs. And I need to get the tab up first. So on this tab that I've got, I'm going to type in docs.new. And the neat part about this is I'm going to get a brand new document. Google uses the .new TLD for lots of things. I get a Google Gemini prompt right here with Help Me Write. I can also click it over here, but I'm just going to go ahead and click this one. I'm going to cut and paste that exact text that I read you. Create me a subject for an email for a BOGO sale on blah, blah, blah. 70 characters long, at least 2 emojis. Now, I've given persona, I've given the task, I've given the information. Google is going to automatically use a block here of an email draft, and it's going to step up your style with our BOGO sale. And it mentions a whole bunch of emojis. I'm going to go ahead and do it again, just because, the interesting thing about this is there are trillions of options. You're rarely going to get the same result. Step up style with a couple of things, BOGO sale, get one, buy one free shopping basket. I would probably change this as well, to be something that has your that has your brand name and other things in it. But effectively, you've got a great starting point. You can now add in the science of tracking your open and conversion rates, and you can really use Gemini to quickly and creatively achieve more effective posts and email campaigns. And of course, you can use the built-in features of the help you write. Those are tone, refinement, summarize, bulletize, shorten, elaborate, and rephrase. So helps a ton. I hope this is useful. Talk to you soon.